Bum, bum, bum. Oopsies.
Pip, you have to be more careful. Wait, what's all that? And did I hear something about pirates?
Yeah, don't worry about it, Levram. I'm going off to the Azurite Sea with everyone to find the Chromacons. Go back to bed.
Wait, what? What about the party?
Levram, the party was like 3 months ago. Keep up or go back to bed.
3 months? How long have I been sleeping?
Too long. Let's go!
Hey, wait. I need to be caught up. What exactly did I sleep through?
Let's see. Party, Illumineer falling, Merlin prophecy, Martin saves the day, Gaston winning the unicorn I wanted, Cusco cut the line, Maleficent crashed the party, Jafar's up to no good, and I went on an adventure with everyone and discovered the next adventure that we're taking right now. Come on!
Wait, can I get more details on this?
Fine, but only if you get your pirate stuff and get on the boat. Everybody's heading out now. Let's go, me hearties!
Not far over the misty hills of Lorcana, there is a fortress that rests upon pillars of seeming giants. From afar, the fortress looks rather small, but upon reaching its carved doors, it looms large and imposing. The decorative figures on either side of the door are smaller depictions of the pillar giants, now gazing admiringly at an image of a serene maiden. Hark! A rhythmic chant sounds deep inside, growing louder with each steady syllable. As something nears the door, a terrible question arises. Were these doors meant to keep threats out, or to keep threats locked within? With a rumble, the massive door swings open until it comes to rest with a boom. Out marches a procession of knights, 7 in number, and noble of appearance. Their armor glints as they cross the well-trodden bridge, their marching song ringing through the canyon. Of a reluctant king who called for a celebration beneath the bruised Illumineer. Of a crowd that was far too large for his young brow. And of its royal charge to protect the land surrounding the festival grounds. For the dark never sleeps. As the song draws to a close, almost all of the knights chuckle, for one of them is impervious to laughter. They nod to each another, turn, and march in separate directions. Each has his charge to maintain peace in the realm, even though the Sea Witch has been defeated, and the heroic Illumineers and their glimmers are enjoying a much-needed moment of revelry. And so the knights depart resolutely for their appointed stations to keep watch over the land. All of the knights, that is, except for one. Because although the dark may never sleep, one of these knights is already snoring. So, I remember the first night of the party. What happened next?
Well, there was a food fight that broke out while we waited for dinner to be served. I got thrown because someone thought I was a pile of chocolate pudding.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it was fun getting launched at a Minnie's food catapult. Whee!
Anything else?
I got more cotton candy.
Anything else that isn't food related? Going to make me hungry before we set out.
Fine. Missing all the best parts that way, but if you have to know, even the villains were lining up to come in, but Kronk was making sure that everyone had an invite.
You did mention Cusco skipping the line?
Emperor's privilege or something like that, but it doesn't mean no one else made it in. Maleficent made her way here to the party and started causing a panic.
No.
But the 3 good fairies and Pip took care of Maleficent, so don't worry, Levram.
Right, but what about the Illuminary breaking? We saw that happening the first night.
So Martin was able to clean that up with the Amber Chromacon that Merlin had a vision about.
Chromacon? What is that exactly?
Here, you're a quick reader. Just read these and get caught up. But make sure you read the parts about me. I was a quintessential piece in the whole adventure for discovering the Chromacons.
The moment Martin stumbled upon one of the strange artifacts from Merlin's vision, he knew immediately that these Chromacons were just a small part of a much larger mystery. And his suspicions were confirmed as the revitalizing effects of the Amber Chromacon took hold. One way or another, Lorcana needed these artifacts. All 6 Chromicons possess powers the Illumineers and their glimmers need. Amber for healing, Amethyst for imagination, Emerald for cunning, Ruby for courage, Sapphire for wisdom, and Steel for strength. Each of the ancient Chromicons holds within it special powers to aid the Illumineers in their quest to restore the Great Illuminary and protect the realm of Lorcana from further threats. The hunt is on, but the question remains, where did the Chromicons come from, and where might the search to find them lead? Merlin never enjoyed getting hit on the head. This time, however, was quite fortuitous. Yes, he supposed that he, and the rest of those celebrating Ursula's defeat, had been spared any injury when the Great Illuminary's crumbling tower came crashing down. But shortly thereafter, a tiny piece of the tower had struck this Merlin glimmer directly on his wizened head, sending him into a vision of magical artifacts and a gloriously restored Illuminary. Martin and a very clever Basil Glimmer were the first to locate one of these mystical items, an amber Chromicon, inside a secret room within the Hall of Lorcana. This gave everyone hope that, with a bit of diligent searching, anyone could uncover the rest of the hidden Chromicons. Venturo, being quite sensible, sent Merlin to lead a group to cover more ground. One particular Scrooge McDuck Glimmer, having shrewdly acquired a map from the first hidden room, was a natural choice for Merlin's search party. Scrooge's nephew Donald invited himself along, but even with the assistance of his massive magnifying glass, the Glimmers spent far too much time studying the map to discover a hidden room of their own. It took a passing Moana Glimmer to pull the proverbial rug out from under them. She was searching the Hall of Lorcana herself, a blazing torch in hand and a keen look in her eye. She only needed a glance at the map to tell it wasn't a guide through the Illuminary. Rather, it was pointing them elsewhere, toward a sea? Moana scanned the room for clues and stopped in front of a bookshelf. Then something odd happened. Her torch's flame bent sideways toward a thin line that ran between 2 bookshelves. Merlin rushed to the wall and let his spindly fingers trace the line until he found a small recess. There was a soft click, and to the group's astonishment, a door carefully camouflaged as a bookcase rotated open with a low groan. The moment Merlin peeked inside, several tiny spheres glowed to life. By now, the entire group had joined him. Together, they tiptoed into the room. On the other side of the chamber was a table, where lay a deep blue jewel set in a gold frame. Merlin could feel the knowledge radiating from it. The sapphire Chromicon. Just then, Moana turned around with a puzzled look on her face. Merlin glanced at the doorway just in time to see a tall, slender silhouette dart away. Moana was across the room in the blink of an eye, but after a few tense moments she returned and shook her head slowly. Well then, this item deserved even more of Merlin's attention if shadowy figures were lurking about. He cleared his mind and looked at the azure light wafting up from the Chromicon. By chance, he glanced at the map, gripped tightly in Scrooge's hand, and noticed a strange symbol at its corner. Immediately, a swirling pattern of visionary light issued from his cap and unfurled before his view. Merlin's eyes widened. It became blindingly obvious that their presumed mission to repair the Illuminary was part of something larger. Much larger. But that was a matter for the future. Right now, it was enough to feel the excitement of finding a long-lost magical artifact. So he set off with his fellow Glimmers to deliver the sapphire Chromicon to Venturo back at the celebration grounds. Only this time, Merlin would keep at least one eye on the sky above. So, where were you in all this?
I was there, I promise. In fact, I'm the one who took the piece of the Illuminary and hit Merlin's head so he could have the vision.
You've been asleep this whole time too, haven't you? You had a sugar crash after too much cotton candy.
Yeah, after getting launched out of Minnie's food catapult, I kinda landed very conveniently in the cotton candy machine, and, well, the rest is history.
You did mention that Jafar is up to something, didn't you?
Yeah, he's after the crown!
Fascinating. All the clues lead to an empty room? The Basil Glimmer was perplexed. In the distance he could still hear the sounds of the celebration, which was already beginning to wind down. The room was dark, one of the many curious places in the Great Illuminary. Hadn't he just told Dawson the other day that he could wander these halls for 100 years and still not see everything? Basil stepped into the room, his eyes quickly adjusting to the darkness. It wasn't entirely empty. An old lectern lay on its side in the middle of the room, and a few dried-out strands of seaweed wafted in the breeze from the newly opened door. The smell of salt lingered in the air. He turned to leave. Leaving so soon? The voice had all the menace of a coiled viper. Basil stopped as a larger glimmer slid out of the shadows holding a snake-like staff. The staff's eyes began to glow. The Hexwell crown. You have a piece of it. Show me, the other glimmer demanded. Basil's hand acted almost on its own, producing the minuscule scrap of the crown that he'd found earlier. Now, my minuscule companion, you will find the rest of it, and bring it to me. I will bring the crown to... The words escaped Basil's lips before he had a chance to think. Wait, what if I can't bring it? I will have that crown. If acquiring it is beyond your meager skills, then you will tell me where it is, and I shall obtain it myself. Basil's feet were already moving. He felt his considerable mind go blank. Yes, he would find the crown, just like he was asked. The Jafar glimmer smiled as he watched the little mouse depart. I must have patience, he muttered to himself. Let the fools celebrate. Once I have the Hexwell crown, Lorcana shall be mine. Okay, so we're getting these Chromicons, and Jafar's hunting for the crown, and we're going to the Azurite Sea for the next Chromicon?
You got it!
And we're going to ignore this void of light sitting at the edge of Lorcana that Ludwig is talking about.
Oh yeah, don't worry, don't panic, it's fine.
Okay, I'm sure we have plenty of time to prepare for the Azurite Sea.
It releases tomorrow.
What?